Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. The Big Ten is going to be a lot of fun this year. There really are no clear-cut favorites. Michigan may be the favorite to repeat as Big Ten champion, but they are still in a division with Ohio State and Penn State. Not going to be easy. The Big Ten West, wide open. Who knows who's going to win the Big Ten West? Could be Wisconsin, could be Iowa, could be Illinois, could be Purdue, could be Nebraska, could be Minnesota. Who knows who's going to win the Big Ten West? This conference is truly going to be unpredictable and a whole lot of fun. And that was evident when I was going through the Big Ten schedule for this upcoming year, trying to decide on 5 games that I think are going to be the best in this conference. If I could, I'd choose all of them. But today we narrowed it down to 5. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. Ready to break down the 5 biggest games in the Big Ten heading in to 2023. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below, because here at the Gridiron Expert, guys, college football never ends. The college football season never ends. It never dies. It always lives 24/7, 365 right here at our channel. We want you to become a part of that. We want you to take advantage of that. We want you to become a part of our GE Nation, what we're growing right here at our channel. So let's take a look at the schedule in the Big Ten. Again, our 5 biggest games ranked in no specific order. We're just kind of doing them in order as they're played. And the first one is on October 14th, when Iowa travels to take on Wisconsin in a game that very well could determine who wins the Big Ten West. And what I like most about this game right here is the fact that typically Iowa-Wisconsin in recent years, that kind of has decided who wins the division, or at least who gets the upper hand in that division race for the rest of the year. But what I like most about this year's race and this year's game is Iowa and Wisconsin are both showing up with brand new offenses, right? Iowa's offense was putrid last year, embarrassing. Well, they come in, they add Cade McNamara, hoping to give this offense a boost for the Hawkeyes. Wisconsin, they bring in Luke Fickell, brand new head coach, a guy that's going to come in there with a new offensive coordinator and Phil Longo, looking to change everything with Tanner Mordecai and Braylon Allen and guys like that. 2 brand new offenses, could be a completely different style of ball when these 2 teams meet in Madison on the 14th. Big time division implications. I love it. It's going to be one heck of a battle. It should be a lot of fun. Iowa won the game last year 24-10. Wasn't that great of a game. Iowa got the win behind the strength of their defense. Both teams are going to have pretty solid defenses again. It's just going to be interesting to see how they stack up against, again, the new quarterbacks here. 2 teams actually might have an aerial attack for once. It should be noted that the road team has not won in this series since 2018, and 5 of the last 6 games between Iowa and Wisconsin have been decided by double digits. So we might not get a close game, but I think this year we will. Big game on October 14th, at least from an implication standpoint. October 21st, Big Ten East is going to be really wild, right? I mean, a lot of big games. How Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State all fare against each other will determine who wins that division and maybe who's still in the hunt for the college football playoff. Well, on October 21st, you get the first of those big games when Penn State travels to Columbus to take on Ohio State. Again, huge, huge, huge for the Big Ten East and those standings. It should be noted that on October 21st, neither Penn State or Ohio State will have played Michigan yet. So the winner of this game gets a significant upper hand, while the loser, the room for error, very, very slim going forward. That's assuming that on October 21st, both these teams are undefeated or just at a one-loss team. You look at Penn State, a team with a lot of young talent, Drew Aller, Nick Singletary, Katron Allen, a lot of offensive firepower to go along with a pretty experienced defense and a pretty solid defensive coordinator as well, and Manny Diaz. You look at Ohio State, obviously a team that needs some work defensively, especially towards the end of last year. It was pretty bad. And is breaking in a brand new quarterback who we believe will be Kyle McCord. This should be a top 10, top 15 showdown in Columbus, and one that historically has been relatively close. Yes, Ohio State has won 6 straight since Penn State's big upset back in 2016. It's hard to believe that it's been 7 years since Penn State upset Ohio State. But Ohio State has won those 6 games over the Nittany Lions by an average of 8 points per game. So these games have been very close. They have been competitive. Penn State was beating Ohio State late last year before they kind of fell apart, and Ohio State got a 13-point victory. This game I expect again to be very close, very competitive, and will come down to the wire like it has in years past. So October 21st, one of the biggest games, not just in the Big Ten, maybe in the entire country. October 28th, Ohio State remains in this one. They travel to take on Wisconsin. I'm really excited about this game, because it's one of those things where This game is huge regardless of what happens in the week before, right? If Ohio State beats Penn State, they are riding a huge wave of momentum into this game against Wisconsin. And we know Madison is not an easy place to play, especially potentially a new-look Wisconsin team that could give Ohio State more of a threat defensively. If Ohio State loses to Penn State, they're a little bit down on themselves. The room for error for Ohio State is very slim to none, and they can't afford to slip up at Wisconsin. So this game in Madison on October 28th is going to be very, very interesting to see how it all plays out. I think this has all the makings of an upset in Madison, has all the makings to give Luke Fickell his first signature victory as head coach of the Badgers. Ohio State did beat Wisconsin 52-21 last year. They have won 9 straight over Wisconsin, including 3 Big Ten titles over them. Wisconsin hasn't beat Ohio State since 2010. They have not defeated Ohio State since 2010. Maybe that changes in 2023. Maybe it doesn't. But I think you're going to have a pretty big dogfight on your hands on October 28th. And Wisconsin's going to give Ohio State everything they can handle behind this new-look team led by Luke Fickell. November 11th, another huge Big Ten East showdown. Michigan at Penn State. Again, huge for that division. Going to play a major role in who wins that division. Especially if Penn State beats Ohio State, this game will be huge because Michigan's schedule is pretty dang favorable up until this point. Wouldn't be shocked to see Michigan undefeated when they travel to Happy Valley. And again, this is going to have the makings for an epic showdown. Potentially the whiteout game at Penn State. Potentially a top 10 showdown. Playoff implications, Big Ten title implications. 2 great running back battles going at it. Blake Corum of Michigan going up against the duo over at Penn State with Katron Allen and Nick Singletary. And it should be mentioned that, Michigan's won the last 2. 41-17 last year in Ann Arbor, 21-17 in Happy Valley in 2021. But traditionally, the road team gets it done. There have been a couple exceptions. The COVID year in 2021 where Penn State was able to win Ann Arbor, Michigan was able to win in Happy Valley. But traditionally, in recent years, the home team is the one that's getting the wins between Michigan and Penn State. If that's the case, Penn State would be getting the win here. We're not predicting anything yet. We won't predict this one till later, but this game has the makings to be an epic showdown and one that will, again, be one of the biggest games of the year if both those teams live up to their hype in 2023. And then, of course, I think it's to be expected. The other big game in the Big Ten is on November 25th, the last week of the year. It's the game. How can you talk about big Big Ten games without mentioning Ohio State and Michigan? This is the game that could determine who wins the Big Ten East. This is the game that could determine who goes to the college football playoff. Essentially, a college football playoff play-in game, possibly. Top 5 showdown, possibly. Everything could be on the line when Ohio State travels to Michigan. And, unlike in recent years, Ohio State had such a long streak against Michigan. We were like, okay, we're going to keep picking the Buckeyes until Michigan finally beats them. Well, Michigan has not just defeated Ohio State. They've done it twice in a row. And they've done it twice in a row in dominating fashion. 45-23 last year at Ohio State, 42-27 back in Ann Arbor in 2021. They've won back-to-back games over Ohio State for the first time since 1999 and 2000, and they're feeling good. They're feeling confident. Michigan is on the rise, and I'm not going to say Ohio State's on the decline, but Michigan knows they can win, and Ann Arbor is going to be rocking like it always would be when they play Ohio State. The pressure now, though, is on the Buckeyes. Pressure is on the Buckeyes to snap this streak and to get back on track. If both teams are undefeated, if both teams are a one-loss team, or one's a one-loss team, one's undefeated, regardless, this has everything on the line on November 25th, arguably the biggest game in the Big Ten when it's all said and done. Assuming both teams live up to their expectations, and naturally, I believe they both will. So that, of course, is a game you have to talk about and one that we already have circled on our calendars because inevitably it's going to be huge, just like it has been each of the last 2 years. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. These are your 5 biggest Big Ten games heading into 2023, and we'll be predicting these very, very soon. Don't want to miss out on that. So as always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, check out everything down in the description below, become a part of our GE Nation. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.